Good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on what time you're watching this. But welcome back to a special episode of Dads Are Dope. That's dads that are dedicated and optimistic about parental equality. And of course, this is Dad Dialect, speaking the language of fatherhood. It's our video slash podcast that we stream, bringing you information, stories, updates about the life of fatherhood and what it is in this struggle, in this journey that we take in becoming 50-50 parents, in some cases, full parents. But of course, the goal is parental equality. So 50-50 would be um, the best, probably, unless in those rare circumstances where um, primary has to be done, then that is what it is. However, again, our goal is to help educate and promote and encourage and uplift those in their journey. And this special episode is um, for the holidays. So it's called the holiday season, and that's getting through the holiday season, that is. And the reason I say that, if you ask, is of course, social media, media in general, the general population um, targets the holiday for family time, giving gifts, celebratory, um, giving thanks, being thankful for the birth of Jesus Christ, for those who believe that, and the whole gambit. New Year, welcoming in a new year, ushering out the old year, being thankful for what you've done, being hopeful for what's coming. All of those types of things roll into this one, what is it, 40, 40 some odd day time period. And as I said, for most, that's a happy time. I mean, it's a joyous time. For some people, Christmas is the happiest time of the year for them. It's the biggest, happiest holiday for them. Thanksgiving is for a lot of people. A lot of people, who whose family are broken up all over the country, if not the world. They look forward to Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is actually the week of Thanksgiving is the busiest travel week in the year, so even busier than Christmas. Thanksgiving is a big deal for a lot of people. And of course, New Year's Eve is just and New Year's Day. The countdown to New Year's Day is a huge celebration for most, if not the majority. So, with that being said, it's not a happy time for a lot of people still. People who have lost loved ones, people who have tragedy, people who are lonely and don't have folks, loved ones to spend the holidays with. It's not a happy time for them. And it's especially not a happy time for fathers who may not have a relationship with their children due to a myriad of things, but at the top of the list, a disconnect with mom and or a complete breakdown in the custodial relationship. So it's definitely not a happy time for them when their time is not only limited. Some folks may not even get um, holiday time or get to spend the holiday with their child and or excuse me children. So I'll paint you an example. So let's say you're a dad that has every other weekend. Well, from the rip, you're only spending about 8 to 10 days a month with your children and or child and or children anyway. So now let's up that to, sure, you said, okay, I'll take this. I don't want to fight. I don't want to, prolong a custody dispute or whatever. So yeah, I'll do the every other weekend, and this could be um, through a mutual agreement or through the court system. Um, but here's the thing: if you're not educated enough to make sure that when you're outlining this or when you're agreeing to this every other weekend, that equates to 8 to 10 days a month, and just from that alone, I wouldn't be happy with that. And I actually had that for a period of time. But then you want to at least try to talk in holidays. How are we going to, share these holidays? And um, if you didn't talk about that, then that's it. You would only get them on the holiday if indeed the holiday fell on your odds or your even weekend. So, I mean, let that soak in for a minute. So let's say that you've inked this agreement and Christmas was on a Monday when you inked this agreement. Well, now you have 4 years at best before you get to spend Christmas with your child. And let's say that's if it falls on your odd or even weekend. What if it never does? Then you never get them. So you got to celebrate it afterwards, or and if that's the case, I mean, if it's not even your weekend, you're celebrating it almost 2 weeks later. And people talk about, oh, well, it's the thought that counts and all those things. It is, but it's also very, very hurtful. And people act as if fathers um, don't have feelings or shouldn't feel, or man up. It's all right. It's all right. The baby loves you. You love her or him. That's all that matters. That's all lip service. I'm going to just be real with you. That's all lip service. As I said, I've had similar arrangements at one point, and it hurts. There's been plenty of times that I've spent Christmas and Thanksgiving alone because it hurt so much that I didn't have my children with me, that I didn't want to be with anybody. I didn't want to spend time with any family, because seeing my siblings and their children and them being loved on, it's touching, but it also made me feel sadder. It made me feel more depressed because my babies aren't here. My babies aren't engaging with their cousins and their family. My babies aren't here for these moments. And excuse me, with Thanksgiving just passing, think about Thanksgiving. If you're even a weekend dad, so you never get to spend Thanksgiving with your child. Your child never gets to spend Thanksgiving with your side of the family. That's terrible. And it's terribly depressing. People don't think about it. Oh man, you'll be all right. Oh man, and then for family that doesn't really know your or remember the dynamics of your relationship or your agreement rather, oh, where's my baby girl at? Or where's my little guy? Where's my big man at? And then you have to relive it by saying, oh, they're with my baby's mom, or they're with her or whatever. And then she's or he and whoever is asking for them is like, oh man, oh, you guys ain't worked that out yet, or you got. Some people think it's so easy. Oh, just like get over yourself, you know, do whatever you got to do, grovel, make it right, or vice versa. And it's not even that easy. It's not even remotely that easy. Um, the key here is if you have those types of arrangements and you didn't think about these things, it's important for you to take a minute to stop and assess, perhaps go back to court, start having that conversation on how you can incorporate the holidays into what your agreement is, because it's only fair. I mean, if we're going to talk about at least the whole goal for dads are dope is to be able to have a 50-50 relationship to and so it's only fair that you guys would do the same with these holidays, because they're important not just to um you and your child or children. It's important because society makes these things such a big deal. Christmas is such a big deal, you know. So when your child or children go back to school or engage with their friends, this is what they're talking about. This is the conversation. So, you know, imagine how they feel when their friend is talking about how their dad did this, their dad did, oh, their dad played Santa or whatever. Their dad carved and gave them the biggest piece of turkey or ham or the biggest slice of pie or cake. How do you think your child feels hearing their friend go on and on about this tender moment or this funny moment that they had with their dad during the holiday season? Oh, I got to watch the ball drop with my dad and it was amazing, or whatever. If you don't have these things, it's hurtful. It's downright depressing. I mean, it makes you feel sick. I mean, I know, there's a large population of women who think that, dads, that aren't the primary custodian, or they're out there living life. They're doing big things. They're doing this, they're doing that. They're partying, enjoying themselves. They're not even worried about the kid for New Year's Eve or New Year's Day or Christmas or Thanksgiving. They house hopping. They don't care about all that. Not true. Not true. We put a lot of assumptions on what dad cares about and what's important to dad. We put a lot of assumptions on what dad feels and how dad feels. It's easy for people to minimize dad's feelings, love, and connection with his child to, oh, it's about mama. It's about the baby's mom. It's, oh, he's still after her. He still wants her. He's still, he's trying to get in her life. He's, that's why he's arguing and carrying on. And I'm not saying that in some cases that's not true. Um, no, actually, I am saying, and I'm saying in no case do I believe that's true. I'm not saying in cases that's not added, that's not an added thing that's included with the kids' feelings and emotions, or the dad's feelings and emotions for that child. It may be inclusive. That person may also still want to be with the mom or still care or feel some type of way about who the mom has uh, moved on with or something like that. So I'm not being naive to that fact. What I'm saying is that's not the most important factor. So, with all that being said, again, dads, do yourself a service. Try to think about this, think about how it could work, how you could, you could share these holiday moments with your child, where you guys can, with the mom, you guys can split every other year. Somebody takes odds, somebody takes evens, something like that. And if it's not something that a conversation that you can have with mom, then that's grounds for you to file a modification for custody. And you should do that. Modifications aren't as expensive as the initial custody hearing, and you can always file a modification. So I would implore you to look into it. Look into it in your family court system where you are. Look into filing a modification to include the holidays in your time. Think about yourself. Think about your self health. Think about your child. Think about your child missing you and yearning after you as much as you're missing them during that time. It's very important. It's important for you to be able to express your feelings with folks. Find someone. Um, there's organizations out there. As I said, dads are dope. That's, our purpose is to help educate uplift, and encourage. I also have another podcast, The Brothers Conversation. Those links and information will be in the description, but you can reach out to the Brothers Conversation. We talk about this weekly. Weekly, we talk about spirituality, we talk about the love of the Lord, we talk about the importance of the Lord. And it's not churchy. So if you're thinking that it's, oh, you're going to get preached to, that's not the purpose. The purpose is reaching you wherever you are for healing, love, and support. And then there's also another organization that I'm a part of, and it's called Every Man Counts, Better Dads, Better Lives. And the purpose is just that simple: better dads, better lives. If you can get dad to be better, if you can make dad better, everyone's life ends up being better. And I know some women may think, what? Why is helping his life? Why is his life making me better? Easy. Because if he's not stressing, if he's not worried, if he's not down, if he's not broken, then he's able to build, he's able to uplift, he's able to encourage, he's able to support, he's able to help. Communication is key in all of this. Relationship is key in all of this. So, and the most important factor is the maturing process, the putting your frustrations aside when it comes to, who left who did what to who, why is this guy around, why is this girl around, whatever the case may be. When you mature yourself in it, you realize the focus is on your children, period, nothing else. What's best for them? What school is best for them? What school district is best for them? What neighborhood is best for them? What household is best for them? It doesn't have to be, and it shouldn't be. Oh, you know what? Just because you have primary, that's what it is. No, honestly, start having the conversation. And if you can't have the conversation, start looking into. If your child is, in preschool, look at whose school system, look at who has the better pre-Ks. Is the better pre-Ks in your neighborhood, or are they in mom's neighborhood? Look at who has the better school district. Start looking at that when they're in preschool. When they get to elementary school, start looking at what middle school is better. Is it the one in your neighborhood, or is it the one in mom's neighborhood? Same with the high schools, so that you can have conversation with your child or your children when they're looking into high schools. You can help them navigate what's the best school for them based on what fits them best. What support systems are in place at those institutions that's going to help elevate and help them grow. All of these things are key and important. And it takes some maturing. It takes some self-discovery. It takes a lot of identification. And none of those things include just pointing the finger. So again, that's what I'm here for. Wait, did I say it? If I didn't say it, if you guys don't know already, once again, my name is Eli. I've been in this parenting thing for over 2 decades. With that being said, I have 2 sets of children. I have an adult boy and girl, girl and boy rather, and then I have elementary schoolers, a girl and boy. So, and I'm trying to do it 100 times better than I did the first time around. My goal is to be better. My goal is to every day be better. So that mantra that Every Man Counts has fits me to a T. A better dad, a better life. And I believe if I can grow better, I'll be better. The Brothers Conversation helps support that because it keeps me tapped into God. It keeps me tapped into knowing that when I'm alone, when I'm at my loneliest, when I'm at my lowest, when I'm at my the most depressed, when I'm yearning and aching for my children and hurting tremendously about the void, I still know that God can make a way. I still know that Jesus can help me get through this, and that praying does change things. And this is a key. When you pray, we usually pray for, help and support. We pray to get out of our situation. we rarely ever pray for the other party that may be causing up the block in our situation. And even though that's hard, it's been hard for me to do. I promise you that. If you do it, things might start to change. They may not change. She may not change. She may be as vindictive and as vengeful as ever, but the other components in play may force a change. Who knows? Listen, it happened for me. All I can tell you, it happened for me. And it takes time. It's not going to be something that happens overnight. My journey was a 5-year journey and it was long. It was tedious. It was hurtful. It was loss after loss after loss after loss before the final victory. So I'm telling you to stay encouraged, keep your head up, embrace one another, embrace yourself, embrace the Lord, take him in, but also get help. If you can get professional help, get it. If you have someone that you can speak to, talk to them, lean on them, cry to them, get it out. It is not okay to keep it bottled up. And it's definitely not okay for the only emotion for men to be able to be associated with is anger, rage, or lust. What about sadness? What about hurt? What about despair? These things are real in men. These things are real in us. So, men, dads, seek some support. As I said, reach out to any of the platforms that I have. I can help you. I can be a listening ear. I can be someone to guide you. I can be someone to mentor and uplift and encourage. I can get you in the right direction. And if not myself, there's partners that I partner with that may be a better match and a better fit for you. There's people that are willing to hear and help and support. And most importantly, support, because we all need it. So until next time, take care, my friends. Seek the help that you need. Dads, remember, we are dope. Be dedicated, be optimistic about your parental role, about parental equality. Let's get this thing. Let's change the narrative. Let's change the way society sees us. Let's change ourselves from being the negative depiction that we see in the world. Let's start with one another. Until next time, peace.